Hello everyone, welcome back to a new YouTube cast. Today we're going to be having a look at a best of 5 played between Solar in the bottom left spawning as the blue Zerg and the top right spawning as the red Terror, and it's going to be Byun. This is a recently played best of 5 from the Aces Rock tournament, I want to say, or Aces ROG tournament. And it's a very cool best of 5 just because Byun is in it, and watching him play against Zerg is absolutely beautiful. Watch some of the games against Serral, obviously. What he did with Raynor. I don't know. I think Byun is in an amazing shape, and it's a pleasure to watch him play. It makes me happy that he's back, and that he's back this good. I've mentioned it before, but it is so difficult to come back after a year and a half break, and be in a good shape. It's just, it's absolutely insane to me. Like, he's the same level as he was before his military service. He comes back, and he shows this kind of level. To me, that just makes him an absolutely insane player. Like, just crazy good, so crazy good. I can't believe it. Alright, heading into the game, we have a Reaper opener, very standard, no proxies on the map so far. No pool first either. Solar, did he scout around with a drone? No, it's just gonna be happy with spotting everything with his initial 2 overlords. He's gonna be checking that final area for now, and he knows pretty certain. He's pretty certain right now there's no proxy rexes on this map. Of course, you can never be 100% sure that there isn't 4 barracks hidden over here in the corner, and that 25 marines show up all of a sudden. But once the Reaper gets shown, I mean, Solar should be able to figure out that this is a standard barracks at home timing. Factory goes down, so does a second gas. We've seen a lot of people open up with fast triple CC. I think innovation. I think Maru also really likes opening up with the fast triple CC from a single gas. Usually they later on get that gas on the natural, but not the case here for Byun, who opens up with a second gas and is going to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, this move here that Byun is doing is a little bit harder to do on other maps, but on this map it's playable because this third base is just worse than the right side third base. So Solar is very much so forced into taking this right side third base. He can't really just say, alright, I'm gonna send a drone over here and take this one. Instead he needs to build an extractor couple. Oh my god, Byun's not paying attention. Okay, that's a little bit sloppy there. Now, he wasn't gonna delay it for much longer, especially because there's not a single Hellion on the map yet. This was double marine into reactor, by the way. You can get a Hellion out before his barracks, his reactor finishes, then he'll swap over. See a starport about to finish up pretty rapidly as well. And a marine coming out, okay. This is smelling like a Hellbat build. Usually when you see this barracks producing marines, it indicates a Hellbat build, because there's nothing else to do for that barrack. I mean, what are you gonna do? Get a tech lab and stim? No, stim's gonna finish way too early. Like, you're gonna have stim done and you'll have like 6 marines or something like that, because you're so invested into this Hellbat push. Your 3rd CC is delayed, your barracks 2 and 3 are going to be delayed, so just building marines, which you then can load into your medevac, adds a little bit of DPS to this push that even with just the Hellbat is already pretty strong, but add 4 or 5 marines in there and bang. You have a real banger of a build order. Oh, 2 Hellions do not manage to clear this Link. Link sees absolutely everything. I think he saw the lack of a tech lab on this barracks. Sees no 3rd CC. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Solar knows it's up. Starts a spine crawler as well. Spore goes down in the main base, I guess. Yeah, in the main base. So in case of any type of Liberator. Sometimes you see these Hellbat all-ins with Liberator in the main base. Not going to be the case this time. This is a really weird Hellbat timing, by the way, because he's just gonna drop marines, maybe try to snipe an overlord. He's not actually morphing them into Hellbats yet. This is looking a lot like a mech follow-up. The amount of Hellions that are being built here, 7 Hellions, 9 Hellions, indicates mech to me. 3rd CC is going down right now. Also, Banshee as a follow-up is extremely rare. We hardly ever see this. I mean, right now we have Solar moving in with his Overlord. He sees, okay, cool, you're getting a Banshee. Sees the armory as well. No, it is barracks. 9 cars, double Banshee, medevac. Solar must be extremely confused. He's getting a Baneling Nest now. He initially wanted to hold with just a Spine and a bunch of Queens. Now he realizes he's probably going to need a little bit more. I don't think you should pull drones for this. Just Lynx are going to deal with this fine. We see Hellions trying to go for a run by Spine. A little bit out of position. Wouldn't mind if it moves forward. So it can cover this entrance rather well. Queen's going to push forward. Might be able to snipe out a Hellion there. Not going to be the case. Now let's see what the follow-up will be here for Byun. There's of course these double refineries and the double E-base going down in the standard order. These Marines taking down this factory. Factory is going to be building a reactor here. 2 more barracks being added. There's an empty tech lab over here, which probably isn't going to be used for quite a while. Perhaps after that reactor finishes, Byun will build some tanks on this tech lab. Not much happening meanwhile on the map, by the way. I think this is the... Did he only build a single Banshee? Yeah, he ended up only building a single Banshee. I'm not sure what I think about that. I guess I kind of like it. It did get spotted. I mean, there's 7 Queens. A player of Solar's caliber is not going to be taking a lot of damage from scouted Banshees. Triple barracks being added on. As this reactor does finish up. No swap yet on this barracks to the reactor. You have Spire, double Evo on the way. Now, usually, if Zerg feels a little bit afraid, they wait with those 1-1 upgrades until the Spire finishes, and they're gonna invest more in Mutas first. But because I feel like Solar's early game was so extremely good, instead I think Solar's just gonna start his 1-1 the moment these Evos finish, right? I mean, there's no real need for him to wait till the Spire finishes. There's no real pressure coming his way either. It's gonna be, what, 12 Marines? He's actually gonna wait. That's fantastic. That was a good call, Kevin. He's gonna get a lot of Mutas at once though. I like that as well. But I wouldn't have minded if he starts these upgrades a little bit faster, because he's in such a comfortable position right now. Getting those 2-3 extra Mutalisks, I don't think is going to matter that much in the long run. And I think the upgrades would. Yeah, upgrades start basically at the same time now. I was right. Solar made a mistake there. Lynx being chased back. Now supplies are relatively even, but just from a tech perspective and looking at the upgrades, looking at the units they have, the creep spread, I kind of like this position here for Solar. Honestly, he can, the moment his fort base finish up, he can start droning up. He will get some map control back with these Mutalisks. I mean, his 1-1 is started. He's starting his +1 attack. I think he's actually in a really nice position. There's not a single turret up yet, beyond waiting till the last second to build that turret. Mutas now arrive, are going to be spotting, hey, there's no turret here. Oh, just F2's back home. That's a bit of a mistake. Could have flown into the main base, probably got a little bit more down. I think he lost 2 Mutas there, not just 1 Muta that went down. 9 Mutas still remaining. I feel like that was a bit of a missed opportunity here with the Mutalisk for Solar. Is there? No, there's no cloak on that Banshee. 2-2 starts for Byun straight away. Combat shield isn't done yet, by the way. 156 supply combat shield is about to finish up as we speak. Solar looking for reinforcements, but I don't think Byun is rallying across the map. No, it's just rallying on his depot like a good boy. He is here with a second factory, so going to be going into drilling claws pretty quickly. Didn't build a single tank, by the way. Not a single tank was built. A little bit greedy in case of some type of 1-1 roach play or whatever, but Solar didn't go for that. It's not going to be an issue this game. Here comes Solar moving forward, tries to defend the edge of his creep, of course. Banelings moving forward, gets some decent connections. How many Banelings do we have left? We have 4 Banelings left. Drone count of 78 for Solar. No 5th base yet. Has to be on the left side. Now this map can be quite difficult for Zerg. You have these chokes, these areas which are difficult to pass through. And really there's not that many bases that Zerg can take. It's going to go for a flyby here with the Mutalisk. How many turrets is there? Just a single turret. Sensor tower is going to get taken out. Quick cancel there by Byun. Good job by him. Turret in the main base will be taken out as well. Not going to be cancelled though. A couple more Marines are going to die. Perhaps these medevacs will fall as well if they don't boost away. There you go, boost away in time. 1 reactor goes down. Second reactor is going to go down. Will have to pay the price with a Muta perhaps. No, he won't. Some mine over here in a tricky location. You wouldn't really expect it here. Solar is gonna fly through it, ends up losing a single Mutalisk, might lose a second one. Yes, 2 Mutalisk end up going down there. Drilling Claws completes. Creep spread on the right side of the map isn't quite as hot as it was earlier. Byun doing a good job of clearing that, as these rocks were not down. It's difficult to defend this patch of creep that is over here. I like that Byun leaves a couple of Marines behind, tries to clear some creep. Actually, never mind, I hate the move. Oh no, he saves it. I love it. Great. Lots of attention used. This is the hindsight casting. When something happens, you say, ah, I love that move. Something goes wrong, man. That was such a bad move. Command center is floating over. It's going to turn into a planetary. A low worker count here for Byun, by the way. Against the 85 drones of Solar, who is rapidly approaching Hive, as well as a Baneling count that is going to make it very difficult for Byun to fight, even with these Widow... Ooh, actually, he has 11 Widow Mines. Lynx moving forward, going to drag the Widow Mine shots into the bio. Banelings, a lot of them not quite getting the connections they want. I mean, he cleans up all the Marauders here, cleans up a bunch of the Widow Mines as well, but still... I feel like he managed to remove the tank or the meat of the army, but all the damage output in the Marines is still alive, and that's kind of what you take the meat out for, you know, so you can get to the juicy part of the army. I guess the Marauders are more like the potatoes in front of your burger, you know, the fries before your burger. First you gotta get rid of the fries, and then at the end you get the tasty treat of the burger, and that's the Marines. These are the real tasty ones, because they die real fast against Banelings. We have 14 Mutalisks on the way, one more being built, as well as +2. Once you get +2, these turrets seem to fall extremely fast. They melt like ice, which melts very quickly. Melt like chocolate. Another Baneling engagement here by Solar, as it was partially on creep. He doesn't need to be too careful with them. He's going to get some decent connection. Once again, kind of clears up the potatoes of this army. And he's looking at that burger and he wants a bite. He wants a bite, but can he go off creep? I think he might be able to go off creep. The problem here is that Byun is multitasking again. Has 2 armies. And yes, this was a good push away here by Solar. He's gonna stay on 82 workers. Now, the problem that I have with this is that his trade aren't going to be cost efficient. Okay? And he just lost a lot somewhere. I think just a big mine shot. Probably a couple of big mine shots actually. He just went down 20 supply in a couple of seconds against what was probably only 20 supply out of Byun. Now the problem here, like I said, is these engagements aren't very efficient. So eventually if you get into a split map scenario, that will really bother Solar. He either needs to start doing some harass to really push his advantage, or more counterattacks. I mean, these bases are being left pretty free. There we go. Lynx, Mutalisk. Really only 6 Mutalisks left. This left side base is still being defended by Pureling Bane. Doing a good job of microing that, by the way, while putting on a lot of pressure on his opponent. A single Ling, 2 Lings not going to be able to do enough damage. I think this should have died. All of these SCVs with slightly better Ling micro. For now, we see it straight into the Marauders with those Banelings. They want to be going into those Marines. Mind saving the day there as well. Byun kind of rallying towards the right side while keeping a decent Marine force with a bunch of mines on the left. And I guess the Ultra should be able to clear this. A couple of mine shots get triggered. I don't actually think Banelings are necessary here on the left side anymore. This is pure Marine, my friend. 1 or 2 Ultras will do the trick. You know, his 6 base gets cancelled for what feels like the 5th time this game. And Byun's pretty happy with how everything's going. I wouldn't mind if he adds an extra command center, but on the other hand, I mean, he's trading so well. You probably do want to keep the pressure on, and that's definitely what he's doing. Another Ultra list goes down. Queen falls. Solar just doesn't know where to go with his army. He keeps moving back and forth. Now, the pickup is so good. Once again, 7 workers going down. This right side base falls, and Byun is just kind of on Solar territory right now. Oh my god, the Mutalisk being sniped. You think you get something, but in reality you're still gonna lose 3-4 Mutalisk there for basically units that you were gonna get no matter what. These mines aren't being cleaned up. Solar, you gotta clear those mines. Yeah, there we go. That's good at least, but Solar struggling to hold on here, honestly. His 3-3 finally finishes up. His shittiness plating is about to be done as well. Actually, a float from the main onto the 5th base. So Solar a lot closer to breaking his opponent than he probably was aware or even knows now. Like, this game actually has been relatively close because the economy of Byun has never been good. It has been bad. It has been mediocre. 62 workers, 3 orbitals. I mean, this is barely 3 base saturation. But because he has been trading so well, it is most likely going to be enough as we have an engagement off of creep as Byun takes game number 1. Alright, here we are yet again. Game number 2 between Byun and Solar. See neither player doing anything crazy, which is the way it's supposed to be. You can have a look at the peaceful water around the bases. Or the Overlord path, you can look at those. You can wonder if Byun even cares about the Overlord paths because he never proxies anyway. I feel like Byun just doesn't give a crap what the other guy does. He just knows what he's gonna do and that's good enough for him. He actually is one of the people that also barely ever scouts. Really hardly ever scouts, especially in TVZ. Believes that he can hold everything, or believes that no scouting is so good that he can't be bothered to do it. Maybe he just forgets. There's some people who just forget. I'm one of them. I'm like, I really wanted to scout. Then you die to a 12 pool. Happens to the best. Extractor goes down, standard pool timing at 17 of course, and then we'll see the next drone being built. Now, this map is different from the last one as we have potential 2/3 bases that could be taken, right? So if we see a block on this base, then Solar's just going to be like, well, I'll take this one because it's not that big a deal. I'm actually curious which base Solar prefers. I think I've seen this one being taken quite a bit, just so you can push the creep down this ramp already beforehand. I guess you kind of have the same issue here, but this ramp in particular seems very nasty with this area. Similar area here, maybe they're kind of the same. I still feel like this area is easier to attack from as Terran. You also have a tank position here, which might make it difficult to take the 3rd. I'm actually curious to see what Solar does. I've seen both being taken, so it's always interesting to have a look at what the big boys think about it. So far, all this big boy thinks about is getting a couple more links out. Make sure that he does not take any real damage from the Reaper. Second gas once again for Byun, looking into more pressure than that standard triple CC, or the standard, the economical triple CC. This doesn't necessarily mean that what Byun is doing isn't macro focused. It just means he wants to be going into the mid game in a different form or a different type of game with more pressure, perhaps more momentum on his side. First Reaper's trying to do some damage, but Solar's micro is going to be sufficient as he gets the 3rd base in the line formation. 1, 2, 3. This of course would be called the triangle formation as it forms a triangle on the map. Beautiful. Starport going down, and we're gonna see, this looks all like a tech lab. Only single marine. There we go, that is going to be a tech lab in it. Single marine before reactor. So just straight going to turn this into a tech lab, most likely just going to be Banshee. It could be something else. Think battle cruiser, possible still. Of course needs the fusion core before he can swap these two then. Could be a Raven, extremely rare. We don't really see that. Innovation had a period where he played that a couple of times. But yeah, it's just going to be Banshee, 2 base, Hellion, Banshee. And there's a funny story with this build, because this build has been around for years. This is a build that was around in Heart of the Swarm as well. And I know that because if you guys know Special, back then he was called Major, and him and an American Terran called Xenocider used to call this the Chobo kill build. And Chobo is a different word for noob or bad player. And they basically said that whenever you play against someone that is like 300-400 MMR below you and you want to ensure a win, what you do is you just play Hellion Banshee, because through your Hellion Banshee control you can always, A, it's very safe because you get a lot of units, your 3rd CC is pretty late, and B, through your good control you can always make some damage work. So it's really just impossible to lose with the Hellion Banshee build. And that still kind of is true right now, is that it's extremely good against Roachalins because you get Banshees, it's extremely safe, and with very good control very often you're going to be able to do quite some damage Something we see quite a bit from some Terrans, that they save up 2 Banshees before they go in, and then they go in with double Banshees at the same time. We're not going to be seeing that from Byun here. Byun instead is opting for a single Banshee, immediately cloaks, and this sport is too late by Solar. He's gonna end up losing 4 or 5 workers here, perhaps. Oh wow. Nope. Pulls back is gonna cost him 1 more worker. No. 3 workers go down total. Hellions trying to push in right now. I don't think this is the play, my friend. I do think... Byun disagrees. Byun disagrees, he jumps in. Where is this Banshee? Not doing much of anything. I mean, a couple of... All the links did go down, actually. Now a couple of more drones are falling as well. See this Extractor taking some big damage. Banshee here, not doing anything. 8 works. How did this work? I have no clue how he makes it work. 10 workers. All the links go down. Resources lost in favor of Byun. And that's a nice little start. The question being, of course, was this enough damage? I don't know. I'm actually not entirely sure if this was enough damage. Because this is a build that does need to do damage. It's not a build you just sit back and you go into a macro game. I mean, like I said, your control makes the difference. Okay, this is definitely going to be enough now. These extra kills really do matter. I think he's getting a couple extra here as well. Saw this go up a little bit too fast. Yeah, there goes another worker. Oh my god. Positioning with the Banshee is so careful and so painful to watch here. 20 workers have gone down already. He's just idling. Next to the stupid Swore. 21 worker, alright. Byun right now is in a fantastic lead. This is just the start, don't forget. Creep is absolutely non-existent. I was gonna say, I'm not sure what it looks like economically. But even before, like when he only had killed 10, so that was 13 workers ago, I was saying he wasn't going to be good enough economically perhaps, but there's almost no creep, there's no fort base on the way. Upgrades are relatively quick, I agree that. Late layer though, and as we only see 5 casts, this most likely is going to be Hydra, Ling, Bane, not going to be Mutalisk, which means these Banshees are going to be annoying for a long time to come. He can even send them back home in theory to repair them. Now we have the first 2 medevacs heading towards the fort base. Problem is there's no fort base yet. And the moment that Byun realizes this, he's gonna be extremely happy. Yeah, Solar right now building 24 links, no upgrades on them yet. There's only 10 links on them. I think these Marines might just be able to straight up win the game. Oh yeah, there's absolutely nothing here. Too many drones were lost. Solar had to rebuild every single one of those. Couple of good transfuses going down. Good. Stutter step is so ridiculous. Hellion's just being rallied onto the creep. He doesn't give a crap. He's like, here, take him. You can have him. I don't need them. It's my gift to you. Double drop once again, heading into the main base. Third base has finished for Byun a while ago. He's on position as well. Still no fourth base here for Solar, who is right now all-in on Ling Bane. And usually when you're all-inning with a composition, it's nice if you're the one attacking, but he's basically doing a defensive all-in at this point, except there's no light at the end of the tunnel. He's moving forward, and he gets further and further away from the light. But there's no going back. There is no going back. Now this army is all burger, no fries. But if there's no Banelings and no Baneling speed, I don't think that's much of an issue. Once again, attempt to drop by Byun, and this is so frustrating, just jumping and bouncing in between these bases. Hydra then goes down. I was correct with that prediction, at least, of course, with without that 6th gas. It is pretty obvious what is happening. Good stutters and micro here by Byun. Oh my god. Picks up once again. Creep, non-existent. There's no hotkey for inject. Oi, 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 oi. It is looking rough here for Solar, who is at least kind of going to stabilize on 4 base for now. When I say stabilize, I mean he probably gets to finish this base. Never mind that. I like to take back my words. We see 3 more barracks going down. We see a command center. Second factory is already finished. I mean, the infrastructure for Byun, I think, is just a little bit too good to 2 halfway down. He's just moving at this point. He's not even moving towards his opponents. This army is not micro, but I don't think it's going to matter. 2 mines still here. Unburrows one of them. Oh my god, beautiful pickup here. Beautiful pickup. Tries to retarget with that mine. Not quite working. Gonna end up dropping into Banelings. This is the first major error, I would say, that Byun made. But I mean, at the same time, he's just He's just rallying across the map, knowing that Solar has no money for run buys, knowing that Solar has no larva for run buys. GG gets called as Byun takes game number 2 and puts himself on a match point. Yes, hello, game number 3 between Byun and Solar. Potentially the final game in this best of 5, as I added to the overlay as well. You have Solar still not switching it up after Byun didn't scout twice. I wouldn't have minded a pool first. I mean, it's still possible in theory, but no, here we go. Gonna be going for that hatch first. I feel like a pool first with some type of roach all in. I wouldn't mind to see like a 3 roach pressure, 4 roach, 5 roach, 6 roach, perhaps even 7 roaches. All of these things are of course very viable, but perhaps Solar not comfortable with those strategies. Very often when people talk about strategies, they talk about them as anyone could employ them at any time. So a very common statement would be, I don't know why player Y didn't just do thing X, because it's so obvious that player B was going to do the same thing again and again. This can be the case because you just don't feel comfortable at all with a strategy, and even if you know that in theory something should be good, if you can't play it properly and you don't know any of the responses to other build orders, it can be very, very tricky to do these things because you don't know proper follow-ups, you don't know proper unit movement perhaps, or things like where to deny scout or how to deny scouting with certain build orders. Like there's a lot of factors that go in every single build order and every single style. So even if it's obvious to a viewer or a commentator or an analyst, like, hey, there is a weakness here in this player. Why isn't the opponent not just exploiting it? It's very often the opponent perhaps just can't or didn't anticipate in the preparation exactly for what his opponent was going to end up doing. Now, I don't think that is the best excuse here for Solar, because Solar, I think, was very well aware that Byun didn't like the scout. The only the only thing that I can think of is that Solar, why he didn't prepare any early game all-ins, is perhaps because he felt extremely comfortable in his macro game. And now that he's down 2-0, he's like, well, crap, I haven't really prepared any cheeses. Like, I thought my macro game was going to be good enough. Like, I prepared different types of macro. Like, I got my Lingbane Hydra, I got my Spire. I didn't think that playing pool first necessarily would give me a greater advantage, or some type of roach rush would give me a greater advantage. Just a little bit of background as to why very often these statements that I tend to make as well are a little bit unfair to the players, or tend to be unfair to players, or at least don't make a lot of sense. Now we're seeing once again quick swap here with the barracks, and the factory actually gonna get the tech lab below it, so he wants to go down with that starper. He wants to go down and dirty. Once again, most likely going to be hopping into Banshees. I mean, it worked well last game. That it was really just a Hellion run by, right? And then, well, the Banshees afterwards killed like 30 more workers. That was big. I like that. I really did like that. That was a good play by Byun. His control with these units is just so fantastic. He is the king of the cars, the king of the Banshees. Interestingly positioned Overlord here by Solar, by the way. He's going to be able to spot all these Hellions moving out, and perhaps even catch a Banshee if the Banshee decides to go straight to the middle. Does not seem to be the case. Banshee is getting rallied to the far right. Be careful of the far right, guys. Never know what they have in store. Second depot goes down on the low ground. No 30C yet. We have Overlord speed coming out of Solar here. Wants to know exactly what's going on. Metabolic boost is about to finish up as well, of course, better known as circling speed. We have full saturation on the natural, and a couple of links are coming out right now. He is not showing any extra cars, and this could mean a couple of things for Solar. It could mean that this is a 2-car into triple CC. It could also just mean that he's hiding cars, and Solar is about to figure out exactly what it is. Sees the Banshee, by the way, with the Overlord. I'm not sure if he saw it. You know, sometimes your unit sees something, but you don't know what just happened. 30C goes down. Is going to be spotted as well. So once again, Hellion Banshee. You have one queen being taken out here. No. Good transfused there by Solar. Byun is so aggressive with these cars, it's insane. Gets a drone. Banshee flying into the natural straight away. Spore is gonna finish up in time properly this game around. You have armor be coming up. Oh, is this mech? No, it's Is this the world's most delayed Hellbat push? He's already adding barracks as well. There's no way he's still going with this, is he? Is there a way? I find this hard to believe. That Byun is actually going to do the slowest Hellbat push in the world. I mean, these queens are out of position. The cars are going in. Is he gonna transform? I mean, there's no med effect with this either. It's just not possible. He wants to transform. He really wants to. He's gonna get this. This queen gets pushed back. One more queen goes down. It's gonna... Actually, only 5 queens remaining right now. There's still 2 banshees alive as well. Is Solar just gonna die to this push? I mean, he has nothing. He's evacuating the 3rd base right now. Queen barely survives. Is there transfuse ready? No, there's not. Banelings being morphed into an incorrect location, I feel like. These Banelings are definitely not going to survive, is what I was going to say. But now I see they definitely will survive. 57 workers against 49. We do have 5 wrecks behind this coming up already. 3rd CC finished up here for Byun as well, who has 1-1 on the way. Do we even have evos yet? 2 evos behind that 3rd base here for Solar. That's nice. That's looking real nice and spicy. 1 Hellion goes down. No target fire out of the queens. Or you see that this left car is about to fall over. Hello, Solar. Gonna get some micro. There we go. Car finally goes down. Not the greatest engagement, honestly. Wouldn't mind some creep on this 3rd base either. Very poor map control right now for Solar, being pulled back completely. Only a single thing on the other side of the map. And Byun just gonna keep going, I feel like. 1-1 combat shield. Gonna finish up at the same time. 4th base starting after the 7-minute mark. Hydra Bane. One more time. Wasn't quite a success last game, but last game was a lot worse for Solar. This game, I wouldn't be surprised if he survives at least a little bit longer. Creep still looking extremely mediocre. As Byun is moving out without medavacs. Hellion's gonna stay home. No, gonna join up with the army. Will turn into Hellbats, obviously. I mean, this is just a dead 4th base, no? There's no Baneling speed yet. An Overlord drop heading most likely towards the main. There's 3 Marines here. Should be enough to deal with small run-bys. Any major run-bys probably would just straight up kill Solar because he would die against these Marines. Let's take a look at this target fire here out of Byun. So far just clearing Ling after Ling after Ling. Baneling speed still very, very far away. Here's a Ling drop. I like this. I like this a lot. Some of the Lings are blocking each other though. 1, 2, it's gonna be 3, 4 workers gonna go down and loses 8 Lings. This really wasn't the greatest engagement in the world. 6 workers. Meanwhile, we actually have oh! No, nothing bad, nothing bad. Hellbat's moving towards the left side. Baneling's trying to roll in. Gonna get some decent connections here and seems to be fine. Marines being dropped once again into the 4th base. I think he wanted to go to the main. I was like, nah, I think I can do it like this. Doesn't really target down the Baneling in time. A little bit sloppy there. We have Marines without anything. We're just stutter stepping forward. Gonna take out this queen. Solar's just falling apart once again, isn't he? He's just falling apart once again. Drone after drone is being gunned down. 2-2 started already here for Byun. I mean, Byun's in a fantastic position. Marauders starting, being rallied straight across the map. This is the good old parade push. This is dirty, this is nasty. And this is also something that Solar apparently can't deal with right at this moment. GG gets called and Byun takes the series 3-0.